Hi everyone, welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, in this video clip, I guess we should call it a vodcast, we're going to go over some points here of our weekly lesson. Now, in the opening of our weekly lesson, we're saying here in the 1970s, before the internet came, pigeon racing was all the rage. And when we say was all the rage, we're saying that it was the most popular hobby, or at least one of the most popular hobbies. For example, right now in UK culture, I can say Taylor Swift is all the rage. I also could say football is all the rage. So I can use it for people, for sports. I can probably use it in other ways as well. It seems to me that sometimes violence is all the rage here, if you excuse the pun. Violence, of course, and rage being linked. But we use it to describe many different things. Okay, so people like to cook here now. That's all the rage. A fashion, basically. It says here it was fairly common to see both young and old men owning pigeon lofts. Yeah, that's what we called the places where we kept racing pigeons. It says here they were like large garden sheds, specifically custom built to house racing pigeons. And the culture of pigeon racing always piqued my curiosity. Now, this is a really interesting phrase because we have at least three different ways of writing pique with three different meanings. Let me just show you. So we have pique, peak, and peak. They all sound the same, okay, but they have completely different meanings. So let me just highlight that. I'll put the text in red. Yeah, there we are. Beautiful, beautiful. There we are. Right. So, first of all, peak, the one that I've actually used here, means really something that I've become interested in. If something piques your curiosity, you can use it in the same way as spikes your curiosity, you know? Um, you can use it like the word arouse, yeah? If you use it though um, in the passive voice, in American English, it can also be a derogatory term. She was piqued by his manner, or she was piqued by his bad behavior. So you've got to be careful with that. But the phrase to pique curiosity means to arouse curiosity. Your curiosity rises, it spikes. And in this case, we can say piqued my curiosity to talk about something which arouses your curiosity. Okay, so pique with a Q to arouse curiosity. Just keep in mind that this word can also be used negatively. I was piqued by his behavior. To pique with an EA, this one here, P-E-A-K, is to really reach the highest points. So, for example, if you're looking at a graph or bar charts, you can talk about figures peaking at certain moments. And I'm sure as a noun, you've heard about the peak of the mountain, the very top of it. So to peak is when something reaches its highest point. And then the other one, peak, peak, that's all about looking at something. If you take a peek, you basically look at something. Yeah, it's something, when a new baby is born, you sometimes go to it and you say, peek, and then you hide your face. And then you go to the baby again and you say, peek. Oh, I hate that. I really hate kids. That's why I don't teach them. But anyway, yeah, peek, to peek, P-E-E-K, is when you take a very short look at something and then turn away. As well as playing with kids where you say peek and then you hide your face. You can also use this word in the office. Because in the office, if someone gives you a document to look over, you can say, yeah, I'll take a peek at it. It means I won't study it completely, but I will glance at it before I do something else. Yeah, to take a peek. So there we are. Piqued my curiosity, aroused, not to be confused, to be piqued, which can mean to be upset. Peak, the top of a mountain, or to peak when figures are at their highest or you're at your highest on that mountain. Peak, to look at kids. Okay, and then turn your face away, that game you play with babies. Peak. Hate kids. And then, of course, if in the office someone gives you a document, you can say, yeah, leave it on my desk. I'll take a peek at it. I'll take a look at it. I'll take a glance at it. It's the same thing in business English. There we are. Right. So let's just do one more. Time's moving on here. The king withdrew his patronage. That just means withdrew his support. There we are. Now, today I'm just going to quickly move down here because, as always, I'm looking to ask you a little bit more about your motivational habits. Okay, so I'm going to ask, what is motivating you today? I'm always curious about this because in talking to many of you around the world on Skype, I'm aware that many of you really struggle to be motivated, and there's others who just jump out of bed and think, you know what? I don't need an external motivator. I can motivate myself. Now, for me personally, I'm not a self-motivator. I need to really understand what the purpose is in doing something, why I'm doing it. Otherwise, it's not going to get done. So if you show me a bunch of money and say, I'll give you this if you complete the task, if I don't like the task, there's a chance I'm going to say, why? Why would I want to do that just because you're paying me? I need to enjoy it. I need to relate to it. I need to find meaning in it. So what kind of person are you today? Are you someone who's motivated by something? And what is that? So is it, let's see, is it the task? Is it the process? The result? Yeah, and it's really very important that you identify these things because they will help you to understand your failings when you're learning a language. Because if you're learning a language only focused on the results of being fluent, for example, then you're going to have some problems with that. Because, of course, the result may not immediately be seen. With language learning, it can take a few weeks, a few months before you begin to see any results, whereas the process and the task happens immediately. So it's good to ask yourself what's motivating you today. just to identify the kind of person you are, and also how that is going to help you understand more about your desired motivation, task, process, or result. Right, that's it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let's talk again soon. See you. Bye.